All right. Well, let's go ahead and get started. And if folks join, they join. So welcome everyone. I'm Marissa. I think I've met most of you here before. And today we're going to try this multitasking name game. And it's something that I came across from Henrik Kniberg. And he's got some really cool YouTube videos talking about WIP and just creating visualizations and things. And he has this simulation that we're going to go through today. And like I mentioned, I'm trying to virtualize it. So just ask for people to kind of bear with me here if something doesn't seem right or doesn't seem like it's working right. And just to kind of give you some context up front, he put together this simulation, and when he has facilitated it, he doesn't outright tell the group the name of the thing. He just says, hey, we're going to try this simulation, and he wants them to learn the takeaways. I know right away when you say multitasking name game, you kind of have an idea on where this is going to go. So just be mindful that if you were to facilitate this with a group on your own, that you can leave out some of those keywords and just let them experience it firsthand to understand these points that you're trying to make throughout the simulation. So I just want to set that up. And then I'll also, at the end of all of this, when we put together the summary and the recap and everything, I'll include a link to his PDF document that he has. It's 19 pages, but it's mostly 19 because he's got lots and lots of pictures in it. And so he's got this whole facilitation guide on how you could set it up and how you can run it and questions you can ask and all of those things. So we'll provide that link so you guys can have that for you to use. So without further ado, we'll get into the game here. One thing that I found, I only have a free Miro account, so I don't have the ability to just let you guys access as visitors and whatnot. So if you guys could click on this link for Miro, and I think David, you said you had to create a Miro account really quick, and Chris, I don't know if you already had one or not.
Yeah, I already had one, so I was able to log in with that.
Yeah, so if you guys could kindly, if you have a Miro account, log in with that. If you don't mind creating a Miro account. And I don't pay attention to if they send you a lot of email, so I'm sorry if they do. I don't know.
Just sign up with chrisdiller@gmail.com and
Yeah, that's perfect. That's
Yes.
not my email, so that'd be great. Feel free to use it.
I didn't know, so I just threw one out there. Swing and a miss, just like the twins.
Oh. See some folks coming in. That's awesome. Ultimately, for this first round, I'm going to need 6 people with editing ability. So I don't know. Could one of you, let's see, David, Chris, Jeff, Paul, could one of you try just like clicking on one of these text boxes and just verify that you can actually edit something? That's me.
And drop stickies.
Okay, perfect. That's awesome.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Yep, me
Cool.
too.
Thank you. Perfect. Thank you. All right. So let's say that I was to ask you guys how long you think it would take to put a name on a card. How long do you think it would take to put a name on a card?
5 seconds.
5 seconds? Anyone else agree, disagree?
I was going to say 3 to 5, so we can go with the high end. I like it. 5 seconds.
Cool. So if we wanted to write 5 names, how long do we think it might take to write 5 names?
Is that one person writing the 5 names?
Mhm. Yep.
I'm going to say 20 seconds because once you get in a rhythm, you go faster.
20. Anyone else agree, disagree?
Sounds about right.
Alrighty. So what are some things that might influence that time, that 20 seconds? What are some things that could influence that time, either for better or for worse?
How long someone's name is.
Whether it's an American name or a foreign name?
How well you can type on the keyboard?
How long the name is. How many letters?
One, yep. Anything else?
Technology.
Just what I was thinking of. Everything just crashes.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Yeah, so those are some. Oh, sorry. Somebody say something. I was looking at my
Yeah, like
screen.
the setup might matter too. If you're adding it to a card, if that card doesn't exist, then that's going to take more time.
Right. Yeah. Perfect. All right. So what we're going to do here is we have customers. We have 5 customers, and they're kind of identified here by the people icons. And each customer has a note card, and the customers want their name on a note card, but they don't have the ability to write or put their name on the note card. They need to go to a developer, and that developer has the ability to put the name on the note card. So they're going to want to give this note card to the developer. The developer is going to write the name on the note card and give it back to the customer, and they're going to say yay or nay if it looks right. Note cards are identified by the white boxes here. So these are the note cards. And yeah, essentially that sounds pretty simple, right? That's all we want to do is just put names on note cards. Can I go with that? I'm going to ask for some volunteers here. If anybody would like to be, I'm going to need 1 developer and I'm going to need 5 customers. So if anybody would like to volunteer to be one of those roles.
I can be a customer.
Deb,
I'll be a customer.
Yep.
this is
I'll be one
Jen.
too.
Missed that. Was that Paul?
Yep.
Cool. All right. I need 2 more customers and 1 developer.
I'll be a developer.
Jenna, okay. Need 2 more customers.
I can be a customer.
Chris.
And I'll be a customer person.
Perfect. All right. So I'm going to put Jenna's name in the box here just so we remember that she's the developer, but everybody else, do not put your name anywhere. Don't put your name in the chat. Don't put your name on a card. Just keep it to yourself, I suppose. I'm going to read through a list of your name and then what customer letter you are. So your letter association. So just, you can write that down on a piece of paper or keep it to yourself. But for example, Deb, you will be customer A. Jeff, you will be customer B, as in boy. Paul, you will be customer C. Chris, you will be customer D, as in dog. And Lisa, you will be customer E. Okay. So for this first round, we're going to pretend that we work at this company that they don't want us to keep customers waiting. They have this policy that we can't keep any customers waiting. They have this belief that you start early, you finish early, just do all the things. All they care about is just getting things done. So for this first round, when I say go, all of you customers, you're going to click on the note card. So your note card for A, note card for B, what have you. You're going to click on your note card and you're going to give it over to Jenna. So you can drag it over to Jenna. Jenna, when you have all of the cards, you're going to start with the card for customer A. So that'll be, they'll all be over here. You'll start with the card for customer A, and you'll have to put the first letter of customer A's name. And then you'll do the first letter of customer B, the first letter of customer C, first letter of customer D, and then E. And then you go back up to the top and you'll put the second letter for A and the second letter for B and the second letter for C until and then when you've completed a name, then you'll take the card. So let's say we had someone on here named Bob and you get Bob's name written on the card. You'll take that card and push it back over to Bob. And then Bob will say it's good or not if there's a spelling error or something like that. And I'll be keeping track of how long it takes for these names to be generated. And then I'll try to keep it on a chart here and see, we'll see what it looks like when we're done. So essentially I say go, all of you customers, push your cards to Jenna. Jenna's going to add 1 letter at a time to the cards. And then as she finishes them, she'll put them back to the customer. And as a customer, you guys say if it's good or not. And then we'll just go until all of the note cards are completed. Does that seem Okay.
Hard? Yes.
Yep. Any questions on that? Oh, I'm moving stuff around. Any questions?
Nope.
All righty, so I'm gonna get my timer started here. And then good luck, Jenna, keeping up with everything. No pressure. All right, you guys ready? Customer E, Lisa, are you up for it? All right, ready, set, go.
Oh, does it take away this other letters when I do that?
Might so what you might have to do, Jenna, is you might have to click in the box, like double click in the box to get the cursor.
Yeah.
The little, so that way you can edit, like, so that way you can do this.
Okay. Oops. Okay.
All right. Does anybody disagree with their name spellings? Anyone need to send it back? Everyone's okay?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so I captured the times here. Let me put them into my nifty little spreadsheet. I also just realized that I'm not sharing a screen, and I just want to verify, is everybody in the board that can see, or should I go ahead and share my screen? That's on me. I totally failed.
Why don't you share it for
Are
the
you-
next round?
Yeah, are you recording? Because if you're recording, it's probably be good to see it. when
Yeah, we
someone
are
watches it.
recording. So I apologize. I just totally dove in and was just like, oh, let's go. All right, I gotta do some math real quick here. Some things. Okay. Math is hard. And all right. This is the part where I was like, man, I can't create a good flow. Okay, so median time, the average time it took to write the names was about 90 seconds. And to complete all of the names, it took about to complete the last name, so getting all 5 names, the entire round took 1 minute and 36 seconds. So how did we do? We estimated it would take 20 seconds to write 5 names. How did we do?
Not awesome. But when you first asked, I wasn't logged in here yet, so I was thinking like writing names, not doing it like this. And I think in my brain, when I write a name, I'm not going to write it one letter for each card. I'm going to write the name.
Right. That's probably a weird habit, like not a weird habit, but it's a habit that was like weird to do differently. What?
Yeah, it was different just to think about it that way.
Sure. Well,
So
how
I
about
think,
we do,
looking
oh,
at
sorry.
So sorry, I was just gonna say, looking at the list of like the blockers that we came up with, like the length of name, I ran into all of them. Typing ability, technology, setup. Like I was like, oh yeah, well, all of these slowed me down a little bit, especially
Yes,
because this is the first
definitely.
time
A
I've
little
ever
learning
used
curve.
Miro. Yeah. I bet I could totally do better.
Did anyone else observe anything watching, waiting for your card? How did it feel as the customers waiting for your card?
Painful.
Yeah. I
Like
felt
just
bad
spell
for
my
Jen.
name, you know.
I
Card.
thought about hiring somebody else.
Nice. You're gonna fire me on
Hiring.
my first day.
I just felt bad for you. I thought that's a really cumbersome way to get a job done.
Yeah.
True story.
Well, let's try something different. Let's go to a new company. I heard someone say, you know, I want to hire somebody else. So let's do that. Let's go to a new company. So in the second round here, we're gonna go bring you guys over to me. Henrik. Oh. Dang, they really take away every feature for the free account. Can't bring you guys to me. I'm over to the right side of the screen here where there's the cleaner slate. It's the same setup, but it's a cleaner slate to the right side. Sorry, I'd bring you guys to me, but it won't let me. So for the second round, we're going to a new company, and this time we're going to change it up. And this new company has a policy where they like to limit WIP, and they want you to only work on one thing at a time, and you just work it till its completion, and then you hand it over. So, and also with this round, so what'll happen is Jenna, as the developer here, you'll grab a card. So now instead of having that push system that we had in round one, where the customers all pushed everything to you right away because they wanted everything, you're going to you'll have the ability, Jenna, to drag the card over to your spot. So you'll grab customer A's card, bring it over to you, and you'll write the entire name. You'll write the entire name on the card, and then you'll send it back to the customer, and the customer will tell you if they like it or not. And then you can grab the next card and get started on it, write the whole name, send it over, etc. So you'll just do that until you get through all 5. I'll keep track of the time again to see how long it takes to write each individual name and then all of the names in its entirety. So that's pretty much about it for this round. It's just a full system, Jennifer, for you. Any questions on this one?
No, but I don't remember who's customer A, B, C, D, and E. So I remember Debbie and Lisa.
If you
So
guys
if
remember,
you guys want to like hover by your letter so that I can see your names. Yeah. Yeah, that's helpful.
all right. So how do you feel, Jenna? You want to give this one a whirl?
Sure.
All right. Okay, let me know when you're ready, or I can say go, or you can just grab one and I'll start the timer.
Okay, I'll go.
Go for it.
Oh, I have to drag it over to my space, huh?
It's okay. Apology. All right, everybody good with your names? Anybody see? Good. Estimates in here. All right, and then I gotta do the math on my spreadsheet on the side. So that seemed to go a little bit more quickly. How'd that one feel? I'll crunch the numbers here while you guys talk about how that felt there.
That seemed a lot better, a lot faster.
Yeah.
More
It was a
efficient.
lot easier. Yeah. It's a lot easier because the thinking process of spelling one name is more intuitive than doing it letter by letter down the row with different names.
Yeah, so this is where we ended up with. It took our actual was our average time was 5 seconds, and then to get all of the names written, it was 35 seconds. So yeah, I heard you guys talking about it was felt better to just write the full name. And how did it feel with the pull system? Anything different with that, being able to pull stuff in?
It was less stressful because I
Stressful?
knew that I could keep my focus, right? There wasn't that context switching.
Yeah.
This time, the hardest part for me was, I would say, the technology, to figure out that I had to drag the box before I clicked in it, and then I had to unclick it before I could drag it back. And so I figured it out by the time I got to Lisa.
Yeah.
Sadly, it took
I
me
know-
that long.
I noticed it picked up the speed a little bit there. And I'll work it. Customers, how did that feel? How'd you feel about getting your names?
Even if I had to wait a little longer to get my name started, it still felt better to have it started and finished really quickly.
And
Yeah, as the last one in line, I just felt more comfortable. Like, this is more organized. It's just more efficient, and it's fine that I had to wait till the end to even get it started, but it just seemed better for me.
yeah.
I also feel like
And
there was an element of transparency that was more clear for the customers this time, because if you don't know the people in front of you and you were a customer in the other line, you're like, great, how long is this person's name going to be? You know?
Yeah.
And like, you just didn't know. Whereas this one, I would say, if you're a customer waiting in line and you can see what's going on in front of you, you know, okay, well, she's, working fast through these, and it should be coming to me soon, instead of going, oh my gosh, when is she ever going to get to me?
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, the transparency. That's a good call out.
Yeah, I was gonna, very similar. I was gonna say, like, I had to wait longer for mine to start, but I could see progress being made, and that in itself was like a relieving factor.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. And Lisa, when you
Yeah,
were sharing your, oh,
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Lisa, when you were sharing your observation for how it felt being the last customer, I just want to take note that in the first round, you weren't the last one to get your name, but it took 1 minute and 20 seconds. And then that second round, it only took like 35 seconds. So it was
Yeah,
like
good point.
significantly shorter to get your name.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, I gotta jump for Scrum.
Oh,
I
sure.
hope I'm not gonna goof the game up. But keep using
No,
my
you
name.
won't.
Keep using.
Thanks, Lisa.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Have
Thank
a good
you.
one.
See
Bye
ya.
now.
Bye.
So I will admit, folks, this is one part that I was struggling with. I was trying to recreate this in Excel, and I was totally failing to do so. And I have a flip chart over here that I was trying to do, but it would take me forever to write it up while you guys just sat there in dead silence. But something that what I really like in Heinrich's material here, I might have to share my screen for a second. I don't know if you guys can. That's gonna be blurry. Let me turn off my background. He does this chart on the fly when he's in the classroom. If you guys can see the lines on it, it's kind of might be hard to see. Like I said, I'll share this PDF out. And I wanted to recreate this for you guys, but I honestly was struggling with it virtually. But the chart shows in that first round when customer starts and how long it takes to get their name. And then in the second, you can see these shorter lines and how quickly people are getting their names out and how significantly shorter it is. And I thought this visualization was super impactful. But this is probably an area where I could definitely use some ideas and suggestions. If you guys think this is a great thing, how can we virtualize this to get it done on the fly? So you don't have to sit there and watch me do it. Cause like I said, I made a flip chart, but I don't think you guys want to sit there and for 10 minutes while I try to figure it out. So that's a part that I struggled with this activity. And then this is pretty much the bulk of it. In his material, he's got lots of other questions that you could ask the group. So things like we've already talked about, how did you feel as the developer or the customer? How'd that feel to be in those shoes? And we talked about the last customer there with Lisa. She was the last customer. What happened with the if we start early, we'll finish early? So in the first round, we talked about starting all of the things at once, because if you start early, you'll finish early. But what happened with that?
Didn't
Kinda
I
fell
mean, they
apart.
started they started my name first, but I was the last one to be finished.
Ah, how'd that feel, Debbie?
I didn't like it.
Last one to get the stuff. Yeah. What about that experience from round one? How often, or do you see that in your environments today?
Yeah, a lot of like trying to juggle multiple things, a lot of like cost of context switching, right? I mean, as Jenna was clicking from one card to another, she ran into problems where, you know, her previous work got deleted and she needed to end up redoing things. So I think all that kind of stuff happens a lot. It's like, what was I doing here again? Trying to get back into the flow of an individual effort.
I don't think it can be overstated how much it is just tempting or feels good to make progress on everything. So you can say, well, it's all moving forward. But then seeing the impact that has is like, oh my God, it feels like it's taking forever for anything. You could see it on this. I see it with cleaning the house. Like it's much easier to clean one room, start to finish, than to be like, I'm going to vacuum the whole house. And then I'm going to go do all the other things for the whole house.
Yeah.
You know, same thing with this, that time to first value, when you can say this is done and it feels good to see that is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather have 100% done of one thing than 10% done of 10 things.
Say one in the hand is worth two in the bush.
What you're saying, David, makes me think of all these, like, not even just cleaning the room, but all those tasks around the house, the projects, you know, the never ending projects, so many things in flight. So what do folks think about this game as a whole? How do you think you might use it? What might you tweak? What might you do differently?
I can't think of anything. I mean, it's a simple yet I think very effective way of showing the cost of like just the context switching and the cognitive load of having 5 things going on at once versus taking one, you know, I mean, push versus pull in its like simplest form.
I've done a version of this multitasking without Miro. You know, if you don't have Miro, right, is I've created like had people create 3 columns and put like the month, the letter, and a Roman numeral.
Okay.
And they have to work across doing, you know, that to create the 12 lines and then doing it just one at a time, and you get something different. So if you don't have access to Miro, there are, you know, ways to do it with a sheet of paper, but I like the Miro.
That's a good one. Jeff, that activity, the columns. Yeah.
That's like step number 1 in any of the workshops that I do, is that exact setup. But I typically do, well, Debbie, you would know, letter, what is it? Letter, then number, and then Roman numeral or something like that.
That one's a really good.
How do you
and it's
call that
quick too.
activity? I've played that before too. I just don't know.
I just call it the power of focus.
Oh, deep.
Right. Well, that's it for today, folks. I appreciate you guys being flexible and letting me try this out to see how it works. I know I've been looking for some shorter, personally, selfishly, I've been looking for some really short activities that we can bring to leadership, because you only get such short time with leadership. It's hard to get a full day with them. And there's things like this that I think if I could get 10 minutes with them and just try to kick something out, just to get that light bulb moment, that maybe if we can get some more buy-in or something. So that's what I plan on doing with this. We'll see. But I appreciate you guys being flexible and trying this with me. And if you do have ideas on how to change this up, whether it's in Miro or that chart this chart, if you have an idea on how we could more quickly do that on the fly virtually, that would be awesome.
Marissa, did you say you sent us the file, that 19 pages you were talking about?
I didn't. I'll put it in the chat right now. I was going to put it it'll be in the recap information as well, but here I'll put it. I have it up, so give me just a moment here. This is the PDF. Like I said, don't let it scare you. He's got a lot of pictures in here, and I do feel having that visualization piece, that chart with the color code, I do feel like that's an impactful piece just to show how quickly you're getting stuff to a customer, especially when you're talking about feedback loops and stuff like that. But
Awesome.
that's
Well,
all
thanks,
I got.
Marissa.
Yeah. Thank you. This was great.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
And once again, we have someone for November. Chris, do you want to share anything with that activity?
Yeah, we have someone named Nick Yingling joining us, and Nick's got a game that he calls Agile Decision Games, and he's done this at a couple different conferences, so he's excited to share that with us. That's November 9th at 8 a.m. Central Time US, so looking forward to seeing you all there.
And
all right,
we got December, January, February open if anybody wants one. All right, thanks, folks.
thank you
Later.
guys.
Thursdays.
Have a good
Yeah.
See ya.
have a good day. Bye.
Bye.